Hey guys, it's Robin here from Team Foxer, and in today's video we're going to be having a look at how I clean and maintain my rifle. I went out last night and had 5 or 6 shots through it, a couple on target, and then we went out and had a couple of foxes, and usually I would have cleaned the rifle within minutes of arriving home. But several people have asked me how I clean and maintain it, so I thought I'd actually show you that in today's video. Although on the face of it the rifle itself looks nice and clean, you'll see as if you get up nice and close and personal, there are several mud spots from where we were travelling down the mud tracks in the truck, and the rifle might have been just hanging out the window. And I'm also going to show you my top tip for cleaning this scope as well, especially if you're using an add-on type unit such as the night sight. If the camera itself can see through the scope and the scope is nice and clear, the more light that will come in and the better the picture quality will be. Right, so let's have a look at a few of the bits that you're going to need to be able to clean your rifle properly.
So to get things started, I'll start off with a specific lens cleaning cloth, an oily rag, a towel, the actual cleaning rod itself, some solvent if it's really dirty, some Ligier spray, the patches to clean out through the barrel, the bronze brush, and the bore snake for centerfire rifles. Probably the first thing I'll do after getting in from a night shooting is make sure I get all the kit off the rifle back in its protective case and all batteries charged up, ready for the next outing. Using a rear night vision add-on such as the night sight means the ocular lens doesn't pick up too much debris, but it's a good idea to check those areas anyway. I always give mine a clean with my lens cloth and then put the lens cap straight back on so that it's protected throughout the rest of the clean. Now here's one of my top tips. If you want to find out just how much debris makes its way onto the objective lens, get a bright torch and have a look. To get a decent look at mine, I have to first of all remove the sunshade. Looks clean enough through normal light, stick a torch on and a whole world of dirt reveals itself. Now don't get me wrong, I won't do this all of the time, but one great way of getting rid of the dust, especially in those hard to reach places, is to give it a bit of a vacuum. Once the objective lens has had a nice polish, I'll use the lightly oiled rag to wipe around the outside of the scope, being careful not to let the rag come in contact with the objective lens. After all of that hard work, I don't want any nasty smears on the lenses. Personally, I find keeping the head torch on during this process allows me to get every speck of dust. I don't know, that might just be me being a bit anal with it, but at least I can be sure that my scope is going to be able to get every last little bit of light through it during my night antics. All that's left for me to do is dust off my sunshade, screw it back on, put the cap on the end of the scope, and we're pretty much ready to go. Let's now have a look at the barrel and see what needs to be done there. It's vitally important, particularly if you have a moderator on your rifle, to ensure that the crown is particularly cleaned well during this process. Doing so will prevent pitting or even the threads wearing out on the end of your barrel, which can be very costly to put right. So a little bit of cleaning now will save you a lot of heartache later. Right, it's time to tackle the inside. 5 or 6 shots, let's have a look and see what it looks like. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my bronze cleaning brush and guide it gently into the breech and give it between 2 to 3 pass-throughs depending on how many rounds I've had through the rifle. The next thing I'm going to do is probably pinch around 10 patches, lay them out individually so that they're not doubled up, and actually just spray probably just between 2 to 4 patches with the Ligier spray, as those are going to be the first patches that I put through the gun. As that first patch comes out, you can see there's a lot of burned residue on it.
Filthy animal.
Repeating the process first of all with the oil laden patches will reveal that the barrel will start to get a little bit cleaner after each pass through. Once the patches have started to come out pretty much dry and with no residue on them, it's time to get your snake out. There's probably an easier way of doing this, but do you know what? This method works for me. I'm sure somebody will correct me in the comment section. I like to just give the crown one last final wipe over before finishing up, and as you'll see the bore snake will tend to dislodge a few more deposits. So now all I'm going to do is repeat the first process and patch through until dry, and the barrel will be nicely clean. It's actually quite surprising, but believe it or not, if you've only had just 1 or even 2 shots, you'd probably still get the same amount of dirt out of your rifle. A final step for me is just to give everything a wipe over with my oily rag, just in case there's any swarf that's found its way into the metal bits to stop premature wear. Give the bolt a wipe over, check that the barrel is nice and clean before reassembling everything.
Well, there you go, that's typically my cleaning routine, and that's the same as whether I've had one shot or whether I've had half a dozen shots. I'll always clean my barrel after every time, and I personally think it keeps the rifle nice and accurate. The only thing I haven't covered off in this little video is the solvent itself. Now, I will only use the solvent if I've had probably 10 or more shots, or if I've only given it a light clean, just like you've seen in this video, probably 2 or 3 times. I will then run 2 patches soaked in solvent through the barrel first, leave it for 15 minutes to half an hour to work its magic and get rid of all of the deposits that have built up, be those powder deposits or actual metal deposits, and then dry rub that out as well till it's nice and clean also. I hope you found this video useful in some kind of way. If you did, and if you're stopping by for the first time and you want to, please consider subscribing. For now, take care, stay safe, and as always, happy shooting.
Once again, thank you very much for watching. You can follow the instant action with me on Instagram at team_Foxer, and you can get in contact with me with the email on screen.